Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the show. This is Breaker, and today I'll be casting a PvT between two players that I believe are from the European realm. I did go ahead and Google their names. That would be Downfall, Arteran, and Teo, Protoss. But I just thought I'd go ahead and take this time to ask you all to simply leave a comment in this video and tell me what you think of my casting. Is it good? Is it bad? What needs work? What do I need to improve upon? But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started on loading this game, and then I'm going to go ahead and fill you in on what my goal with today's cast is going to be. Okay, so looks like this is going to be on TLMC Electric Circuit. I believe this is a map. It's on one... Wait a minute. I can't say for sure I know where this map is, but apparently it seems that Downfall and Teo are both saying it's a Brood War map. And there's the mannered good luck from both sides. Now again, today my goal will be to eliminate the clutch words that I use. That would be like or like or things of that nature, or in this case I believe I said excuse me. And now it seems as though our I think I was just about to say Korean. Our Teal Terran, excuse me, yes, our Teal Terran asked, is it all spawns enabled? Looks like we got this backwards. This is going to make it even more confusing because it's teal and blue. They're a little difficult to tell apart at first glance. So I went ahead and hit Control X. And now this is a rather interesting choke that we have here, if you will. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Oh, no wonder. Yeah, I've seen this map before in the Ritmix Russia Starcraft League. If it isn't this map, then it's a map with an extremely similar layout. I'm trying to identify every nook and cranny. Yes, actually this map I did cast at the Russia Starcraft League. And now it seems that our Teal Terran is going to go for a gas before his barracks finishes up, and with the timing that it's going to finish up at, I'm thinking we're going to see a Reaper. And that's probably another cliche that you guys are hearing from me. The timing that this is going to happen, or the timing that that is going to happen. Don't confuse this with a timing attack by any means, ladies and gentlemen. And if you guys are the uploaders, I'd like to go ahead and just give you guys a shout out, maybe leave a comment on this. I found this replay on drop.sc. Just conveniently on the front page and so on and so forth. Now, Downfall, our Terran player, if I recall correctly, he is a 17-year-old German player, and Teo is actually a Norwegian. Of course, I did find their rankings on esl.edu. Excuse me, I almost said edu as an educational URL. But one thing that I see a lot of Terran players kind of trending with what they like to do on this map is they'll find their destructible rocks to the back door of their base, and then they'll just build a supply depot there. Very convenient and simple method of dealing with vision at that location. And when you see them coming knocking at your back door, you will be able to answer it appropriately. Now, our probe did go in here and see, of course, that it's a single gas opener, and he's just been lit up by the Reaper. And now that Teo is aware that there's a Reaper, the question is, how is he going to react to this? He's just going to go straight up for a Nexus, play this out a little bit riskier than your average Protoss, I think. And it looks like, I want to say that if we see Downfall pull his cards right, he will be able to get a couple of probe kills. It's going to take a lot of micro, and he might get trapped. But this is actually one way to test the micro of your opponents early on in the game. But again, the Mothership Core is out, and it looks like there probably won't be any probe kills in the near future. Yes, Mothership Core gets pulled back there to deal with that Reaper. But of course, the Reaper is easily able to outmaneuver it. Reminds me of just a little bit of a Queen chasing a Reaper! Off creep, almost. Not quite off creep, but just staying in the loop of creep around the base just a little bit. Pylon already back here, kind of watching the back door. I think this is actually a rather dangerous location to put it, but I'm sure it has its own purpose. We will just wait and see where Teo chooses to go with that. Did I just say goo with that? Wow, interesting. Now Downfall's putting a forward bunker down, and he's going to try and take an expo in the near future. The question is when. Or wait a minute, he could actually be tripping up his opponent. Does he? No, he does. He does. He has one back here, so it's looking like this is going to be a triple orbital command. Alternatively, we could see a forward planetary fortress here, but at the same time, I just want to say that this is such a cutthroat map that I would not be surprised to see either of those locations turn into a planetary fortress. At least one of them, not both of them, because then we would have our Terran in a serious economic problem. Teo's going to go ahead and chase down this Reaper, at least scared off for the time being. It only got away with that single probe kill at the beginning of the game. But let's see what vision he has on his opponent. That's it. But of course, if we look at what's in construction now, that would be a robo and 3 gateways. This is actually a game that's going to take me out of my comfort zone because I myself play Zerg. I don't have enough, I don't have more than victories as... I don't have more than 10 victories as Terran or Protoss on the ladder, so there it is. But as long as STEM is not ready to go, we're going to see these Marines get nearly infinikited. May I just say that's a cleverly located Zelnaga watchtower. Most ground forces won't be able to move out against that. The Reaper just kind of pokes ahead of that Stalker, and I think I see what could happen here. It's just going to... I don't know, we're going to see the Reaper have free reign over that Stalker while the Marines will be forced to lag behind it. And the question is, ultimately, is Teo ready to handle this? No, he's not. He doesn't even have the sentry in the right position to deal with that. But it's looking like we're going to see a Photon Overcharge thrown down, yes. And the Marines, not being microed, are actually attacking that Nexus. Both of these players Masters League, not GM. Certainly not on the Korean server, guys. We would not see that happen. Ooh, but that Observer just got sniped. That's not cheap, and we're going to have to see our Protoss rebuild it, you know. Isn't that 25 minerals and 75 gas he's not getting? Well, at any rate, hitting L won't tell me how much the unit costed, but... just a moment. Hitting Shift L will. Widowmine did make it in back here behind all of this because there was a medevac that picked it up and dropped it there. And now it looks like the Stalker's got the snipe on it. Fun fact of the day, if you guys don't play Protoss or Terran, if you put a Widowmine in the ground and it is detected by a Protoss, then the Stalkers will easily outrange it. And it looks like we have Downfall going for another round of harass, but thus far he's killed 4 probes. Not putting himself too far ahead economically, or so I feel. His opponent still has 8 probes up on him, but of course there's another medevac that's going to join the fray as well. So we're going to see perhaps a double-pronged medevac drop. And just wait to see where things go from there. Alright, so it's going to hit at the same time, but the problem is I don't think we have enough defensive forces here in the, if you will, the natural to deal with this. Photon Overcharge is activated on this, however. I think there's more than enough gateway units that would be able to take down this medevac drop here. And here it is, the drop at the natural. Single Zealot warps in. Medevac gets fed back. And we're not going to see any healed Marines in the near future, but the question is which end is causing more damage. Still only 4 probe kills and 2 lost medevacs for our Terran. I wouldn't say 2 lost medevacs, but you know, just I'd say some yellow-bellied medevacs for the time being. Behind this, concussive shells and +1 going down, so that's basically signaling that we are going to see a bio transition. I wouldn't go so far as to say, you know, well, actually, I guess you could say that. It's going to be a slightly bio transition. But I was going to say that if you see a barracks with just a tech lab on it, then you're good to go, and you know that it's going to be a bio follow-up if there's no starport next to it, or if there's no other tech next to it. But whoa, hold your horses, pal. It looks like we're going to see Downfall come in here and try and deal with this third going down here at what would be the natural position. And now we see our Protoss forced to engage. Beautiful storms! I forgot to highlight that of all things. The Zealots are just going to race forward here and eliminate these siege tanks, making it easy peasy for the leftover Zealots, as well as the sentries and Marines, Stalkers, to take down those Marines. How could I miss that of all things? I did see the Twilight Council, but the Templar Archives, come on. It's alright, there were other things to focus on, like the drops themselves. They were going on in 2 different places at once, and they did take my, again, my, what's the word I'm looking for? My attention span to deal with. And it looks like we're going to have a bit of a backdoor assault here for the time being, and we will see Teo's multitasking resources essentially being taxed. But again, just mind games. An observer comes back here and spots that the medevac moves back, and it looks like we're going to have Teo moving out. Combat shield is just about to finish up, but Stim, even to this point, he got concussive shells before he got Stim. That's interesting to say the very least. There you go again with my cliche that but to be quite honest, it is. And at this stage of the game, we're seeing +2/+2 going down for our Protoss. And again, the damage that it incurs, or inflicts rather, on Terran is going to be scaling, especially given the fact that our Terran's only going to be at +1. He's only at +1 right now, and he's actually facing off against a +1/+1 Protoss army. This observer gets sniped, and that, I think, is a little bit critical, because it didn't see the third finishing up. Let's check this out again for Teo. Yeah, you didn't see the third actually getting put down there. If it's one thing I must say, I've never seen a ZVT or a ZVP on this map. I've never seen Zergs play on this map. But I'm sure there will be a time in the Russia Starcraft League when I have a chance to see that. Forward scan is now going down for downfall. And he is going to, snipe that observer. So now we essentially have our Protoss blind. He's kind of forced to move out here just a little bit. He's like, okay, well, I want to see what's up. These SCVs are being, I guess you could say, tank scouts, if you will. And it looks like that was a misclick. Oh my god, beautiful storms. And the armored piranhas yet again charging forward. AoE is going to be oh so critical here. And now it's looking like we might just barely have Teo able to hold this. But no, he's actually going to take his leftover forces and move them into the natural. When I said hold this, I actually meant to say he's going to have some survivors. But wow, those feedbacks took down the medevacs. So now it's all or nothing here for these Marines. And now we actually see a reinforcement Congo line headed into the natural here. This is kind of a misfire here. But at the same time, we actually see a good deal of economic damage done with it. But at the same time, again, we do see a lot of damage going down. Teo is chasing down this Marine tank force, and he's going to be able to cut it off with quite the ease. I mean, just look at the income. He is ahead in this. But it looks like he's not quite that willing to commit to a forward attack just yet. Now he's just getting more reinforcement zealots out there, but he needs a forward pylon if he really wants to make this work. Because just using a straight-up stream of zealots, well, it's not quite going to cut the job. But behind us, we see that Downfall is willing to try and do whatever he has to stay in this game. He's sending a double medevac drop out in this direction, but of course the Observer, patrolling back and forth, I think may be able to spot that. And at the same time, a Warp Prism going behind this for Teo. So it's like, so, yo, bro, I heard you like harassment. And it's just going to be a couple of zealots here. There's no bunker. There's a couple of barracks here to make Sim City, but that's about it. And once those zealots hit the back door, I'm pretty sure that's when we're going to see Teo being forced to engage in a forward position. And there it is. I think this is more than enough to take care of what's at the front lines. The zealots are forcing all the SCVs to get pulled off of the line and go straight into the natural. But meanwhile, this entire force is just going to absolutely tear our Terran apart. Supply difference now 70-something. And we're just waiting for a GG to come out from Downfall. I mean, it's going to be really difficult to hold against this. I guess he could since he doesn't have any AoE. But now we see Teo essentially dancing zealots here, I think. If not, just getting to follow a floating command center. And this is actually looking like a bit of an interesting hold from our Terran. Now only down to 6 SCVs, not including what is on his mineral line over there. But just look at all this damage. 46 SCV kills over the course of this game, but behind this, we see that Downfall has managed to keep that double medevac drop kind of alive. He's trying to keep himself alive in this game, and he's kind of doing a good job of it, but this medevac is not fully unloaded. I kind of wish that, Downfall was aware of that. If he was, he might be able to buy himself back into this game. But the micro here, the zealots, they're taking down everything. And the mules are now getting assaulted and all of this. Just as the Ghost Academy finished up, it's just like he had the Ghost Academy too late. He never had any ghosts on it on the battlefield, so that's actually what's contributing to his detriment right now. And finally, the Warpin that's going to clean up this little harassment movement. You know, 7 kills on one Marine, 12 on the other. And Teo's just going to go in for the death push now, the death knock. It's just, it's not pretty at all. Downfall is trying to make one last desperate attempt to get his opponent out of his way. Excuse me, off of his back door, at least trying to make some damage happen. And finally, we actually see Colossus entering the battlefield. Pardon me, I do have a bit of a speech impediment, but here we go. There it is, the lull from Downfall. He says he hadn't seen the rocks, and he throws out GG. So that's just it. You know, he had no way to hold against that. The end supply was 49 to 162. He tried his best, but I want to say that of all the non-mirror matchups out there, the ones that can end the shortest would have to be TVP, hands down. Simply it just depends on what kind of unit composition you have, how bad the hard counters are, and so on and so forth, like how big they are, and so on and so forth. But ladies and gentlemen, if you guys liked what you saw here today, then just go ahead and subscribe. This is Breaker. I will see you guys next time.